Here we are. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Studying in Verona webinar, dedicated to the presentation of our international master's degree programs. Thank you very much for joining us. My name is Simone Lonardi. I am the head of the international office, and I will briefly introduce today's event for all you. Here's the program. Let me just roll the slide. Here we are. So we will have a welcome speech delivered by Professor Felice Gambin, Vice Rector for Internationalization. The speech will be in Spanish language, followed by the welcome speech by Professor Torsello, Vice Rector for University Scholarships and Grants, Student Orientation, Student Services, and International Student Mobility. After that, we will have a quick look at our call for applications for international degree-seeking students, and then the proper presentation of all our 9 master's degrees in English. After that, I will show you briefly some information and some details concerning our double degree programs. And finally, at the end of the webinar, we will have the chance to talk with some of our international students that are willing to share their experience with all the participants. So before starting, a few tips. Attendees can use the question and answers feature to ask questions to the panelists during the session. If you are a student, please specify in your question if you are a European degree-seeking student, a non-European degree-seeking student, or an exchange student, for example, Erasmus Plus or other program mobilities. I think that we can start. I will introduce to you Professor Felice Gambin for his welcome speech.
Bueno, buenos días y buenas tardes a los estudiantes de las Américas, estimados visitantes. Deseo transmitirle el saludo del rector de la Universidad de Verona, profesor Pier Francesco Nocini, como diríamos en español, y darles la bienvenida a esta sesión dedicada a presentar los cursos internacionales de postgrado, másters ofrecidos por nuestro Ateneo. En el plan estratégico de la Universidad de Verona ocupan un lugar preeminente las actividades de internacionalización. Consideramos fundamental el potenciamiento de las actividades de acogida y queremos favorecer la movilidad de estudiantes y docentes para que entablen relaciones con instituciones extranjeras. En pocas palabras, Verona da prioridad a la formación y a la cooperación internacional. Nuestra universidad es un centro joven, dinámico y en expansión, orientado de forma decidida al ámbito internacional, con la intención de ofrecer una formación que prepare para afrontar el mercado del trabajo global, proporcionando para ello competencias interculturales y una perspectiva internacional. De atraer talentos del extranjero, implicándolos en actividades del Ateneo en calidad de estudiantes, investigadores, docentes. De potenciar los intercambios y la colaboración con Ateneos de todo el mundo, a fin de mejorar la calidad de la didáctica, la investigación y la administración. Nuestro mayor empeño es hacer cada vez más internacional la oferta formativa, de modo que, si en la actualidad son 9 los cursos de postgrado másters totalmente impartidos en lengua inglesa, nuestro objetivo es ampliar la oferta formativa dirigida a un público internacional. ¿Cómo? Asegurando la presencia en el aula de visiting professor visitante, provenientes de todo el mundo, garantizando actividades de tutorías dedicadas a los estudiantes internacionales inscritos en estos cursos, asegurando facilidades económicas como la gratuidad del alojamiento y de las tasas de matrícula. Para lograr nuestro objetivo y para aumentar el atractivo de los 9 cursos de posgrado, máster internacionales impartidos totalmente en lengua inglesa, la Universidad de Verona seleccionará hasta 50 estudiantes, 25 de los cuales tendrán proveniencia extraeuropea y los otros 25 de Europa. A los estudiantes extracomunitarios, además, si proceden de países en vía de desarrollo, se les reconocerá también la gratuidad de la comida, con el fin de combinar de esta manera la internacionalización de los estudios con la solidaridad. Y en este último año hemos visto que efectivamente será el objetivo común de todas las universidades del mundo. Decía, la solidaridad y la cooperación internacional, por lo tanto. Terminada la convocatoria para los estudiantes extracomunitarios, procederemos con la que corresponde a los estudiantes extranjeros europeos. Os esperamos, queridas y queridos, en la Universidad de Verona, que es la ciudad de Dante Alighieri. Hoy es el el día de Dante, diríamos, en las Américas, y también de William Shakespeare, su mejor valedor con Romeo y Julieta. Muchísimas gracias y bienvenidos.
Thank you very much, Felice. Now it's the turn of Professor Marco Torsello, and he will deliver his welcome speech in English.
Thank you very much, dear guests, dear students, dear colleagues, dear international community. Good morning, or good afternoon, or good evening, depending on where from each one of you is attending this event, which has been organized to present the international master degree courses offered by the University of Verona. First of all, let me convey to you the greetings and warm welcome of the rector of the university, Professor Pierfrancesco Nocini, along, of course, with my own welcome and greetings. The University of Verona is a young, dynamic, and fast-growing institution, strongly oriented towards internationalization, with a view to offering high-quality higher education, including graduate and postgraduate courses, which prepare students to face a globally competitive labor market by providing intercultural skills, a solid scientific education, an international perspective, and an ambitious vision. Our university attracts talented young people from abroad by involving them from the outset in our day-to-day research activities as students, researchers, and members of our community at large. We aim at and work towards the strengthening of exchanges with institutions and universities from all around the world, and we experience an incommensurable intellectual satisfaction when we see our efforts being successful. It is our primary goal to cause our international relations to grow stronger, and we are convinced that the strength of these relationships contributes to the improvement of the quality of the teaching offered and the research carried out at the University of Verona. We attach utmost importance to the internationalization of our curricula. Currently, there are 9 master degree courses which are entirely delivered in English, in addition to numerous double degree programs. All these courses will be presented to you today, and our aim is to further expand these education offerings addressed to a broad and growing international audience. Among the very concrete actions that we have undertaken to meet our ambitious goals are the increased presence in our classroom of visiting professors from all over the world, the offering of highly qualified tutors in charge of supporting our international students, and the financial aid granted to students from outside Europe, either in the form of a total waiver or in that of a significant reduction of the tuition fees, which in any event are capped to a maximum amount of 1,000 euros. On top of that, all our students have access to scholarships, which are available on the basis of both their financial needs and their merits. At this point, however, I've taken by far too much of your precious time, and I apologize. Therefore, without any further indulgence, let me thank you once again for attending this webinar and for your interest in our university. And let me leave the virtual podium and the actual microphone to my colleagues, who will provide you with an overview of the international master degree courses of the University of Verona. I sincerely very much look forward to seeing as many of you as possible in Verona in the near future. Thanks, and enjoy the rest of this webinar.
Thank you very much, Professor Torsello. Well, now let's have a quick look to our 2021 call for applications for international degree-seeking students. Well, the University of Verona strives to strengthen its international dimension and to enhance cultural diversity. The presence of international students is the keystone for the implementation of this policy. So, for this very reason, the university promotes every year call for applications for the awarding of supports and benefits for European and non-European students holding a foreign degree and living outside Italy. In 2021, as already mentioned before, 2 calls for application will be published for an overall number of 50 students, 25 from non-European countries and 25 from European countries. Benefits and support will include tuition fees, accommodation, 1 meal per day in the university canteen for the students coming from particularly deprived and developing countries. The call for application for non-European students is now open. The deadline is April on the 30th at noon Italian time, of course, while the call for application for European students is going to be published in May. Now we can start with the proper part of the presentation and introduce you to our International Masters program. We start with the Economics and Data Analysis, Professor Claudio Zoli.
Welcome to everybody. My name is Claudio Zoli. I'm a professor of public finance at the University of Verona. Before we start, I would like to drive your attention to the email of the course. It's on the previous slide. So if you have questions concerning the organization of the course, please do not hesitate to write to me at the email masek@dsa@univia.it. So that's my pleasure to have the opportunity to illustrate to you the features and characteristics of the course Economics and Data Analysis. This is a course that is organized to develop and strengthen the critical interpretation of economic processes for students, and in particular focusing both on theoretical component, but also, and most importantly, on the empirical and analysis and the analysis of data. So this type of ability and skills should be and will be applied in local international markets and also on economic research. So what is required for a student to be enrolled is an economic and or a quantitative background and a level of English at level B2. So we do have a course where we mix together core modules. That's what you find on the syllabus on the right-hand side of the slide, where the core module of the first and second year are those with the wide background. They are mostly on economics, economic law, there is one module, and data analysis, data management, and econometrics. Students will also have the opportunity to develop both in the direction, their ability both in the direction of more policy-oriented skills or more data analysis type of skills. And this is an opportunity that is provided by the chance of having to choose between different modules on the various baskets that are those that are highlighted in colors. So you will see in the first year you have an option between public sector and game theory. Second year you have 2 options out of 3 on management courses, 1 option out of 2 on econometrics, time series and forecasting with local economic development, and the opportunity to choose at least 2 out of 4 modules on either advanced technique for econometric analysis, statistical analysis, or interesting and useful economics subjects that are particularly demanded from the economics market. So we can move to the next slide. So we did develop the economics and data analysis by building upon the 2-year Master of Science in Economics that has a long tradition here at the University of Verona. In addition to the core module, we do have also the opportunity, thanks to the financial support of the university, to develop a variety of more specific model that we put in place every year, depending on the market demand that students can face when they apply for jobs. So for instance, we would have risk management modules, other on predictive analytics, and also some soft skill like professional communication. Now, this year, we do have also the opportunity for the student to enroll in a double degree. We have up to 5 positions for a double degree with the Master of Science in International Economic Policy at the University of Würzburg, where student will take 1 year in Verona and 1 year in Würzburg, and at the end, they will graduate with both degrees. So what are the skills of our students once they graduate? Well, they have a sort of big toolbox where the idea is that in a growing, developing world where economic and environmental conditions change every year, it's really important to have competencies in a variety of toolbox in applied data analysis, statistical econometrics, and economic analysis, and develop a series of competencies in problem solving, for instance. So our students, they will be driven towards jobs like risk analyst, business and financial analyst, junior consultant, for instance, in consulting company, but also they could undertake at the end courses like PhD in economics and focus on economic research. So at the end, if you are interested in pursuing your research in economics, I think that the economics and data analysis will be a suitable and appropriate course for you. In the last 4 years, we did have an employment rate for graduates within 1 year of ranging between 94% and 100% every year. That is the employment rate for the Laurea Magistrale in Economics, but which was the one we have built upon with the data analysis, the economics and data analysis course. I think that's enough for me. And of course, I am available to answer to all your questions, not only today, but also in the next days if you write to me and the email of the course. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Zoli. Now is the turn of Professor Angelo Zago for the program in International Economics and Business.
Hey, everybody. Thank you. Please, the next one. So this Laurea Magistrale master degree is on International Economics and Business. So in this program, this master, you learn methods and also operation of international firms and markets. So there are 2 dimensions, methods and operations. So it's not only methodology, but also practical operation, and for international firms and international markets. So 2 by 2 if you want a kind of matrix. And another characteristic of the course is that it is a unique balance of different disciplines. So we're talking about economics, the core, but also business, law, and quantitative courses. And of course, the key word is the international focus. And we have standard classes combined with a lot of project work and teamwork, because this is something that the soft skills that the job market is particularly keen on. So we have a lot of student presentations. So students are involved in presentation. They are asked to present their project work. We have also exposure to international scholars, international colleagues, that they come to provide modules of teaching of 1-2 weeks usually. And also we started last year to have some internships which are more structured. We use what is called the service learning methodology, in which we have students learning how to try to answer firms' issues and problems that they pose, and so that the students individually or together with other students and faculty members, they try to analyze and try to solve. Next, please. And this is a program which is not exactly at the University of Verona, is in another branch of the University of Verona, which is in Vicenza, which is about 30 minutes by train. And this is a particularly nice location, because Vicenza is the province with the highest export per capita in Italy. So it's very internationalized economy, with a lot of international firms, medium and some big ones, but especially medium firms. And there are a lot of examples of made in Italy. So we're talking about the well done to some extent, and also well-designed sectors, automotive, fashion, and these kind of sectors. Verona, anyway, is also interesting from our point of view, because it is the top European freight village. So the combination of Verona and Vicenza, I think, we think is a unique opportunity location for studying these topics and to have students involved in the local economy. We also we're starting to use to have a lot of structured internship with local firms, not only local, and we're setting up a LinkedIn page to match demand and supply of this internship. We strongly support the participation of our students to European exchanges, especially Erasmus, and we also have 2 double degrees. We have now one that is already operational with the University of Bordeaux, so students can go there and spend 1 semester. Starting next academic year, we will start also a double degree program with Germany, with the University of Bamberg. In that case, we will have students spending 1 year in Germany. Please, next slide. So this is the structure of the courses. So we have a first year, which is quite intense. We have courses in economics, in business, in accounting. We have in logistics, different disciplines in economics, some international law. And then we have, this is quite structured, there is not much choice. So the first year is quite heavy in teaching. And the second year, then there are more options. So there are 2 baskets, one in the first semester and one in the second semester. In the first semester, you have to choose 2 courses out of 4. So there is still some economic courses, but there is also one in statistics. In the second semester, you have another basket in which you can choose one among 2 possible courses in business and in accounting. And plus you have another course in law, exactly in international business law, which is much more applied. Plus, you have the time to do the internship and to finish with the thesis, and also to acquire, if you want, some language skills. So this is more or less the overall structure of the course. To the requisite to be admitted, you have to have a B2 level of English, plus some previous exposure to different disciplines, but especially in terms of mathematics, you need to have 12 credits. Our placement rate is quite high, usually is always above 85–90%. It depends on the year. So this is a degree in English in an area which is economics, which usually has a very good placement rate. Plus, it is for those working in north of Italy. Usually, this is an economy which there is a lot of demand for this kind of profiles, this kind of position. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Professor Zago. I recall to all the participants that if you have any questions, the Q&A session is open. We have 2 colleagues connected that will reply directly to your questions. So now we move to the humanities area. The first course is Comparative European and Non-European Languages and Literatures. Will be presented by Professor Annalisa Pes.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm briefly introducing this program. I will start with the aim of this program, which is that of providing students with a highly qualified linguistic and literary information in a comparative perspective. So which languages and which literatures? Well, students will be asked to choose 2 languages and 2 literatures among the ones we teach in our program, which are French, English, Russian, Spanish, and German. And a distinctive trait actually of our program is that students will be allowed to study, will be given the opportunity to study also the extra-European variants of these languages and literatures. The modules are taught in English, but of course, with the exception of modules in language and literature, which are taught in the relative language, say in Russian, in Spanish, in German, and in French besides English. What skills and what perspectives are students supposed to develop in this program? Well, the program develops critical methodologies for interpretation, for translation, and for the analysis of texts. It develops an interdisciplinary approach for scientific argumentation, both written and oral, and it develops an historical and translinguistic perspective. We have some admission requirements. The first one concerns the level of proficiency in both chosen languages, which is a C1 in the Common European Framework. And we also require a number of ECTS, 27 in each of the 2 chosen languages, 24 in the literature of the first language, and 18 in the literature of the second language, and 9 ECTS in the field of linguistics, of language teaching, of literary criticism, or comparative literature. So, I mean, it's a background that can be obtained with a BA degree in humanities. Okay, next slide, please. Thank you. As far as the study plan is concerned, we have a first year in which we teach the first and the second language with a perspective of the variety of the language, the literature of the first and of the second language, comparative literature, and Italian literature in an international context. On the second year instead, again, we have language and literature, but this time we ask students to choose the first or the second language. This time the language is seen in its historical perspective, and the literature, again, to be chosen between the first or the second language. And we also, on the second year, have the opportunity to expand the literary background of both the first and the second language by studying the non-European literary variants of these languages. In addition to these, we have textual and comparative studies, and we have philology of one of the 2 chosen languages. To sum it up, we have a specialization in one language and literature and a good knowledge. We offer a good possibility to develop a good knowledge in a second language. In addition to all these, we also give students the opportunity to somehow personalize the study program by giving them the opportunity to freely choose from different subjects, from a series of laboratories for teaching and internships, up to a total of 24 credits. So it's a good deal, we can say, of personal shaping of the course somehow. As part of the international opportunities that we offer, besides, of course, Erasmus scholarships, we have this international binary program that will be illustrated later on, as Dr. Rinaldi anticipated. Just to spend a few words on this program, it's devoted to students choosing Spanish as their first language that can apply for this binary program with the University of Coruña in Spain. They will be attending a part of the second year in Spain, and they will be awarded a degree from both universities. Finally, as far as job opportunities are concerned, our major outcome of this program is secondary school teaching, but it also opens up to worldwide cooperation in the fields of linguistic formation, of research, of international cultural enterprise. Of course, the opportunity to continue with a PhD program in the field of the humanities, and then we have other fields like translation and interpretation, cultural mediation, and opportunities in the field of publishing. Again, you can, of course, refer to my email address if you want to get some more information on the program. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Pes. Now it's time for linguistics. Professor Chiara Melloni.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm the coordinator of the Master Program in Linguistics, a program that prepares graduates with an advanced knowledge in this broad and interdisciplinary area of studies. The focus of the program is on both theoretical and applied domains of language sciences, especially on language learning and teaching, on psycholinguistics, experimental psycholinguistics, discourse analysis, and word corpora analysis and design, and other applied fields, actually. This is an international program that for us means having guest teachers from all over the world, visiting professor invited to hold lectures or parts of our institutional modules, generally for 2 weeks. It means also learning in a truly multicultural environment, since around 1/3 of our students are international students coming from extra-European countries, and where each student can actually bring their cultural and language heritage in class groups, which are generally quite small and highly interactive. It also means having not only English as a language of instruction, but also other languages as subjects of studies and also as languages of instruction, since while all the compulsory modules are taught in English, the elective courses such as French linguistics, Spanish or Italian linguistics and Russian linguistics are typically taught in these languages. The focus is on the European linguistic dimension, with an extra focus on learning and teaching L2 Italian, but students from extra-European countries are encouraged to conduct research on their own languages. We also have admission requirements, in particular holding a BA in the field of humanities. Your transcript should also show at least 6 credits in the area of linguistics, and you should also hold a B2 level of English proficiency according to the Common European Framework. The structure of the course is designed so to offer a solid background in linguistics to those students who might have basic knowledge, but also already in the first year, advanced modules are offered that promote the development of applied knowledge and competences. In particular, in the first years, there are modules in all levels of linguistic analysis, ranging from phonology, morphosyntax, semantics, and pragmatics, and the choice of courses in philology. Among the elective courses, there is statistics applied to linguistics, and IT courses, again, applied to linguistics. And again, in the first year, there is a language and learning and teaching module. In the second year, instead, you will have historical linguistics, psychology and cognitive sciences, language-specific linguistic courses, such as French linguistics, Russian linguistics, etc. But there is also, in this case, a course taught in English, so that students who don't have any knowledge in other European languages are will be able to find the appropriate courses for them. And this is also the year dedicated to the preparation of the final thesis. Next, please. In our program, internship opportunities are also available. They are strongly actually encouraged, and they're in particular available with commercial partners of the course, with whom we have very strong contact also in terms of joint research. And these are in particular in the domain of foreign language and teaching and linguistic mediations. There is also the opportunity of internships abroad, specifically with the programs of the university. And if you're interested in research-oriented experience in the linguistics labs, this is also possible. So the students could also, for instance, assist in the conduction of experimental studies on language acquisition and processing, on bilingualism, on language disorder and learning disabilities, so that the students can actually acquire familiarity with methods and tools of psycholinguistic research, which is also valuable if you want to collect data, for instance, for the final thesis. Another strength of the course is the availability of specialized tutoring. Tutors are PhD students in linguistics who can help you with not only orientation and organization of the study plan, but also with the preparation for exams and drafting of the final thesis. And to conclude, about the career opportunities in particular, I would like to underline that this is a course that, of course, prepare for a PhD in linguistics or in philology in Italy or abroad. Another option, of course, is to enter the job market in the domain of foreign language teaching in private school or in public schools once you have your all the credits necessary. And there is also the possibility to find job in various domains with functions of linguistic counseling, from international cooperation activities, linguistic integration of immigrants, management of plurilingualism, and also counseling on language disorders and learning disabilities. The employment rate is pretty high. Within 1 year, it ranges from 83 to 90%, and after 3 years, it reaches also the 100%, depending on the year. And that's all. And if you are if you want other questions, if you have other questions, you can of course write me. Thank you very much for your attention.
Professor Melloni, thank you very much. So now we start the presentation of the programs offered by our School of Science and Engineering. We start with computer engineering and robotics and smart industry. Professor Andrea Giachetti.
Okay. Good afternoon. Can you hear me? The degree in computer engineering for robotics and smart industry has just begun this year, in these academic years. And I'm set to providing students with a new kind of computer engineering background. That is a background that doesn't stop in acquiring information and competencies about computer science, but also having the knowledge of the complete layers, set of layers of applications of computer science to industrials plants. So the objective is to enable students to identify, formulate and analyze and solve problems related to the design, integration, management of industrial production plants. This is very important in this moment in which we have to create a new digital culture, especially in industry, and we aim at a revolution in the industry 4.0 revolution in industry. There are specific target professional figures related to this degree that are integrators of robotic and cyber physical system into manufacturing and information management system with smart capabilities, and people that are able to design industrial robotic system and cyber physical systems, and people that is able to perform data analytics and computer visions and human-computer interaction design, human-computer interaction application for industry. Next slide, please. Okay, to create these specific professional figures, we have 3 parts in our master degree. One is dedicated to embedded and IoT systems, in which the courses are more related to advanced computer architecture, exploiting the experience we have in our department on this specific topic. Another one is more dedicated to robotic systems, in which the main focus is on industrial robotics and automation. And the last one is on smart system and data analytics. That, as I was saying before, it merges data analytics with the visual computing skills that are necessary to work with camera systems, quality control units, monitoring of workers, and human computer interaction systems. The very interesting feature of our master degree is that we work in a strict contact with the local companies, and we created for this master degree a dedicated lab in which there is the simulation, the tangible simulation of the production line, in which it is possible to test on the field, hoping that it will be easier to go in lab in the future, to test all the technologies that are useful for Industry 4.0, robotics, there are robots, there are smart systems to monitor productions, 3D printers, and a lot of other stuff, advanced networks and so on, that can be used directly by students to test their ability of applying this technology to industry. The requirements for students interested in this master's degree are a background bachelor degree with a minimum amount of courses in mathematics, computer science, and also engineering. But of course, we admitted a lot of students with different backgrounds. The importance is that there is a minimum of knowledge in these topics, minimum number of credits. And of course, as all the international degree, we need students with a B2 level of English. For any other information or detail, you are free to contact me at the email address that was written in the first slide, and ask me everything that you like.
Thank you very much. We go on with data science. Professor Paolo Dai Pra.
Hey, good afternoon. I hope you can hear me well. So my name is Paolo Dai Pra, and I'm going to briefly introduce this master degree in data science, which is a new master degree in the sense that only the first year has been activated. So, I mean, what are the main aspects of this master? So I would say that this is a truly interdisciplinary project. It is a truly interdisciplinary program. And this is true from the very beginning, because it has been developed by a collaboration of 4 different departments of this university: computer science, business administration, human sciences, and law. So this interdisciplinarity is not artificial, it's really in the very spirit of data science. So data science is really something that is a new subject and is a recent subject, but it is really born as a very multidisciplinary type of field of study and of science. Of course, one of the consequences of having this interdisciplinarity is the fact that the program attracts students with very diverse backgrounds. So this is true also for the first year that has been activated. So we have students from computer science, from economics, from mathematics, from physics, from engineering. So this, of course, has the advantage of producing a very interesting and rich environment So you can imagine students with different backgrounds, they have different skills, different difficulties, they can help each other. And so this, I think, is going to be even more, of course, at the end of this pandemic time, a very nice and stimulating aspect of this program. When we have designed this program, we had in mind some professional profiles that I just want to briefly mention here. So of course, having having students with different backgrounds, we also have to adapt the professional profiles to the background of students. So we can imagine having students which aim of getting jobs that are, say, closer to the management of companies. So a data analyst is somebody that can use statistical machine learning methods, but is the skills of a data analyst may be closer, for example, to data visualization, to data security, to business intelligence. So it is, I would say, the less technical part of the less technical side of data science. On the other hand, on the other extreme, if you want, a data scientist is more than of a developer of new models, mathematical models, programming codes, machine learning tools. So the aim is still to interpret data, make predictions, but a data scientist is more specialized in developing methods and models for that. So of course, these are the two, say, job profiles that are in the extreme. Of course, there is sort of continuum. Any real job of a data scientist is somewhat a mixture of the two. And so you should not really have just this very schematic and view of only two profiles. Actually, it is much more than that. Of course, the program is not is also aims at preparing for research. So one of the possible outcomes of this program is the research world. And so the program prepares for several PhD programs, of course, related to data science, statistics, applied math, and engineering, and computer science. Okay, so the description, the summary description that I gave of the program is actually shown in the courses, the real courses that the students are going to follow. And if we start looking at the courses from the left column, you see that these are the 4 courses that appear in the left column are the only courses that are mandatory for all students. You see that there is one math course, one is computer science course, one is a business and economic course, and one is the law course. So you're going to see different aspects and sides of the world of data science. And then the remaining courses that are elective, so you can really adapt your program according to your inclinations and backgrounds too, are divided in 4 groups. So the first group, the yellow one, is the group of the scientific courses, so more related to modeling, so math in particular. The second group is more related to computer science and engineering, so a lot of programming, machine learning, and so on and so forth. The third group, the pink one, is more related to business. So you see logistics, business intelligence, marketing research. And the fourth group is more related to social sciences. So you see cybercrime, data protection, translational law and technology. Okay, so this is this shows that you can adapt the program to your. Any student can adapt the program to his or her particular inclination, and I think that really this particular program can be really accessible to a wide variety of students. So the background, the minimal requirement for the access is a minimum amount of math and computer science. So I repeat that the course is relatively accessible to a wide variety of students. Okay, thank you very much for your attention. You can contact me by email anytime for more questions and doubts. And hope to see many of you in Verona next year. Thank you very much.
Thank you. We go on with mathematics. Professor Giandomenico Orlandi.
Thank you. Let me briefly introduce our master in mathematics. Let me so first of all, describe some facts and figures of this master, which has a really international flavor. So please, next slide, please. So with over the year, a lot of the international faculties that are enriching our courses, and a lot of students, foreign students coming from all over the world, till 30% for each class. I hope the slide is correctly. Okay, I don't see. Okay, but I don't see the slide actually. So okay, that is the slide. Is it okay? The position? Okay, so and so many students from all over the world, up to 30% of each cohort, and a lot of international mobility programs that are situated mainly in the major technological poles across Europe. And in particular, most of our partners are federated in the European Consortium for Mathematics in Industry, so which is a reference consortium for industrial application of mathematics. And so it provides with this network of excellence in teaching and applied research, a lot of opportunities for internships and master thesis and mobility opportunities for our students. So the international flavor is also is reflected in a strong international placement for our alumni that you can see in our alumni map here, that you could browse by accessing the link in the bottom left corner. And you see that our placement is in a variety of fields. For instance, there are PhD positions in disciplines like mathematics, computer science and engineering, but also in the biomedical engineering and neurosciences, computer science, and etc. And also placement in industries, in the industrial sector, mainly as data scientist, as data analyst, or in the financial sector, financial engineer, in bank and insurance, and also in pharmaceutical industries and logistics, and of course in the research and development division of industries. Of course, we form also education mathematics teacher at the high school. So our study paths are highly customizable, and they are tailored to the needs of this rapidly changing job market. We aim to provide the background, the mathematical tools that enable students to find their way across a variety of job possibilities across many fields according to their interest. So if they are towards artificial intelligence or finance or biomedicine or computational mathematics, computer science, or industrial programs, or simply if one wants to become a teacher. Then one can, so besides the courses, one can follow some summer school by our international partners, and do some internship and master thesis also abroad. We have, I forgot to mention, prestigious double degree with the Polytechnic Institute of Grenoble, which is one of the which belongs to the elite system of French universities. And okay, I would say that mathematics, career in mathematics is a good investment for your future, because it's a universal brand that will open you a lot of doors. So you can mail us at the email here in the slide and ask questions. We are at your disposal. Okay, that's all.
Professor, thank you very much. Now is the turn of Professor Pietro Sala for the master program in medical bioinformatics.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. I'm Pietro Sala, and I'm a researcher at the Department of Computer Science. And especially I teach one of the course in the master degree of medical bioinformatics. Can you change the slide, please? Okay, thank you. So this course basically follows a successful bachelor degree in bioinformatics that we already have in our department, but is open to anyone who has a strong background in computer science and programming, which means that it has successfully made several exams into programming. And we offer a series of qualifying courses that basically are related to two areas, which are medical bioinformatics and bioinformatics. Medical bioinformatics is related to healthcare informatics, or whatever happens inside the information system of an hospital, and bioinformatics is basically related to everything that is related to biology, analysis, and so on. So these two souls are, as you may notice, are really intertwined, and so does the course of our master degree. Can you please change the slide? Thank you. So our master degree is a 2-year master degree, like every other master degree presented here. So we have not necessarily one should take one of these two paths, but it is highly customizable. As you see on the top, there are 4 fundamental courses like programming, biomedicine, database, and machine learning. And then basically you are free to choose your path among two basic areas, which are the bioinformatics area and the more biological oriented one. So we aim to form basically two figures which are required not only in the research field, but also into hospitals, into company that works into pharmaceutical companies, and so on. So it's the bioinformatician, which is the figure that basically can understand the biological language that usually biologist and a physician may speak, and basically the data analyst, which is basically collect the data from the whatever machine is connected to patient, to lab experiments, and basically analyzes them and extract synthesis information. Among our courses, there are a lot of courses which are related to machine learning and basically omics analysis, like single cell and omics analysis, and image processing, which has a lot of top-notch artificial intelligence techniques inside it. Also, we are courses where the student can learn a lot about genetics and about molecular biology. Also, we have a lot of program like the short-term mobility that allows students to spend a couple of months abroad, like in the US or in various countries of Europe. And this is a very flexible tool because as our course is organized to have a very heavy program full of exam in the first 1 year and a half, and then the last semester is a little bit lighter, so basically allows students to go abroad to contact some of the people which are collaborating with us. So if you have questions about the course, feel free to contact me. The email was on the first page of this slide. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Last but not least, molecular and medical biotechnology, Professor Linda Avesani.
Okay, so welcome to everybody. I'm presenting you the master program of molecular and medical biotechnology. Next slide. So this master program is focused on biotechnology as a tool for developing new solutions to improve human health. Obviously, the central role of biotechnology is evident nowadays, in which we understand how medical biotechnology can help us in exiting from the current public health crisis that we're experiencing. In this framework, this tool, we believe that this tool, the one of medical biotechnology, can be used with the highest efficiency only if we understand the molecular and cellular mechanisms of different diseases. For this reason, the role and the aim of this master course is to form a skilled researcher in the field of molecular and cellular biotechnologies that are capable of performing biomedical analysis, research and development using state-of-the-art and experimental and computational approaches. The program in general, if you can pass to the next slide, is structured in such a way that we have a really flexible possibility to have different courses that are strongly selected by each student. So we have only 2 common basic courses, and all the other are decided by the student among these 4 different areas that are the one of molecular and cell biology, genomics and diagnostics, pathology and pharmacology, and computational molecular biology. We have our course is also characterized by a high load of experimental activities with different laboratory among different courses, and also at the end 40 credits that are given for experimental thesis work that is performed in different laboratory. The occupational possibilities for the future are obviously in the research and technology field, for regulatory activities that are concerned to medical biotechnology for biopharmaceutical approvals, the creation and management of biotechnology entities, and biotech and pharmaceutical diagnostics. We have also a tutoring program that help you in and assist you in building your own personal curriculum, depending on the fact that we have different courses that are selected by the student. And we have also a strong integration among the different areas. If you have any question about the master program, please do not hesitate to contact me or Professor Giorgetti, who is the coordinator, and try to ask any question to us. So thank you. And we wait for you in Verona.
Thank you very much, Professor Avesani, for your presentation. So we are moving towards the end of today's webinar, but before going on and talk to our international students, I would like to show you a couple of slides concerning our double degree programs. In case you don't know what double degree program is, you should know that a double degree program is usually established through agreements signed between your university and a foreign partner one. The University of Verona students can apply for these programs through specific open competition. We have, of course, limited number of places. And if selected, they will have the opportunity to spend a period of study abroad at a partner university. Upon completion of the program, graduates will finally receive 2 degrees. For example, the Italian degree and the degree of the foreign partner university. Participating students may also receive financial support from the University of Verona. This is the list of our current double degree programs. As you may see, most of them are directly related to the courses we just introduced. As you may see, there are in different fields of study and in different European countries, mostly Germany, France, and Spain. Concerning our international master programs, we have a double degree with Universidade da Coruña for comparative European and non-European languages and literatures. Then we have a double degree with the University of Würzburg in Germany for economics and data analysis. Then 2 different double degrees, one with the Université de Bordeaux and with the University of Bamberg for international economics and business. A double degree with the Institut Polytechnique de Grenoble for mathematics. And then I think, okay, that's it. These are all the double degrees for our international courses. If you have any question concerning that, of course, you are more than free to write us or to the professor that introduced you to the programs today. Now, I would like to bring within the conversation the 3 international students that I will personally thank for being here today with us and for sharing with us their experience and their thoughts about their studying in Verona. We have Kuntal, he is a student of the Master in Linguistics. We have Helena, a Master student of Mathematics, and Paul, Master students for International Economics and Business. So, guys, I would like to ask you a few questions, starting from this one. How is your career going, University of Verona? What are your thoughts about that, and how do you feel about studying here?
Hello, so if you want, I can start. So, as the professor was already saying, I'm studying International Economics and Business in Vicenza. And I have made the first semester in Italy, so I have always been to Vicenza, and I enjoyed it very much. But since the semester holidays, since February, I'm back in Austria, and unfortunately, I cannot go back to Italy. But in total, I really enjoyed very much. So I think the university is organized very well. So the online lectures, they are working without problems. We have a lot of group projects, and I had the possibility to meet a lot of other students. So I know them. We have a common WhatsApp group. So I really like it. So it was a good semester, yeah.
Maybe I can go next. So as I was introduced, I'm a master student of mathematics. I'm in my 2nd year, so I'm already in Verona for about 1.5 years. And so this is my final semester. I started working on my thesis, which is I'm really happy about, because that is exactly something that I wanted to work on. And it is actually numerical methods in partial differential equations. So basically why I'm mentioning also that is that I really consider University of Verona and my department to really give me opportunities to build my career in a way that I wanted for my future. So basically, you have the basic courses that are somehow giving you really good grounds, but also all the courses that you are choosing are really allowing every student to basically plan somehow their career in their own way. But mostly I would say in applied mathematics, I mean, considering my program. And actually, I really like the way that we are able to personalize our studies.
Okay, ciao a tutti, buon tantiti. So I do linguistics for my postgraduate degree, and as a first-generation student, I never knew what I should expect from academia, but the teaching committee always strives for promoting student accessibility and allows students to configure their learning with extremely diverse modules. And we never do the same thing twice in our degree. And even for someone who never did linguistics before, there would be opportunities based on modules that are targeted towards getting them to be at the same level with students who have studied linguistics for many years. And pulling away from that, there are extra credits for learning an additional language, for participating in courses related to archaeology, digital humanities, and for doing coding. In a way, the exploration never really stops, and you have so many options to choose from. So, yeah.
Thank you. I would also like to ask you one thing concerning the current COVID-19 pandemic, since, of course, is one of the big issues that we are facing as human beings and also as members of a higher education institution. So, guys, how you dealt with the COVID-19 pandemic? Did the distance learning work fine? Did you have a nice experience despite the general difficulties related to the pandemic?
So apart from the fact that the learning never really stopped, there is a tremendous support for outreach programs and mental health. And even for our cohort, we host revision boot camps that are currently working on creating a space for students to combat isolation in this particular extenuating circumstance. And besides that, the International Mobility, the International Admissions Office, and associate officials have truly set an example with their foundation of hard work and commitment towards student security and access. That is the Italian spirit, that is the Scaligerant spirit, hands down.
Well, I guess the last year wasn't really easy for either an organization of university or for us students, but I have to say that I was really also partially proud of my university and my department, because by speaking with my friends all around the world, also back in my country where I'm from, and I'm really proud how organized that was, and how also something that I would really like to say is how much university and Department of Mathematics were paying attention to all of us that were international, considering that I think they understood how difficult it is for us. One of the really nice things that I experienced in the last year was a message from the Department of Mathematics when they asked me, like in front of the department, is everything all right, when Italian quarantine started 1 year ago. And that's something that maybe is not really connected to our studies and our professional life, but something that I would really enhance, because I think it's really important how much actually they cared about us and how everything is going, and are we fine in this really difficult situation.
So I only can agree with my colleagues. So I think considering all the challenges and difficulties, the university really did a great job. So because, for example, at the beginning of October in 2020, students which have lived in Vicenza or which came by car could attend the classes at the university, while the rest of the students for the classes from home. So I know this is also for professors a huge challenge, but I think it worked very well. So now we have everything online because of the worst situation in Italy. But yeah, the university made the best of it, and also the exams. We had almost never problems. Of course, sometimes it would be easier if you could write the exam in the classroom, but also online, I think all the students made it, and it was not a disadvantage for us. I think university did a good job.
Well, thank you very much for the appreciation. So would you recommend the University of Verona to your friends or to other students?
Yeah, of course. So I think it's a really well organized university. As I told you before, I'm studying international economics and business. We are quite a small study, so I think we are around 40 to 50 students. But this is a big advantage because now we have the possibility to know each other, to make nice group projects, and also the content is really interesting. And yeah, as I said before, the university was doing the organization very well despite COVID, and I really can only say the best. So till now, so the first semester and the second one, I enjoyed the time very much, and also the learning content, everything is good. So I'm really satisfied.
As I said, I'm here for already 1.5 years, and it is not such a big period comparing to work of university that was before I came here. After I'm going to graduate, etc. But something that is really important is that in this really short period, I saw how much things progressed. Of course, concerning my department, but also by university, by every half a year, I saw some differences, some things that were tried to get better, to make them better, to even ask students what we are thinking, how we would impact the work of university. And I think that is something that is really important for every future student. And of course, I would recommend University of Verona and Department of Mathematics of University of Verona for anyone that would like to progress, to work. And I can assure you that by the time that you finish, it's going to be even better than it is now. And that is something that I think is really important in choosing university.
Well, I would say as a first-generation student, University of Verona is like lightning in a bottle. Regardless of where you come from, what language you speak, how you choose to identify yourself, this space will truly uplift your accomplishments, make you visible, and will be a significant addition to your academic journey in the best way possible. And I, for one, cannot wait to see you guys in the next cohort. So.
Thank you very much, guys. I really appreciate your opinion, and I'm really thank you for being here today and sharing with us your experience. We're about to end today's presentation. Let's see if there's any unanswered question that might be helpful, maybe. I think no. I think that we answered all the questions so far. So the last slide will show the contacts that you may need in order to have further information or ask any question you may need to ask. If you are a prospective degree-seeking student, you have to refer to the admission office, and the first email address shown in the slide is the one that you need. So admissions@ateneo.univr.it. And if you are an exchange student, you have to refer to the international office, and you can use the email address relazioniinternazionali@ateneo.univr.it. The link below is the link of International Office, where you will find all the information concerning our international activities, mobility programs, double degrees, and so on. I will, last words, I thank you very much for your attention, and I thank you also on behalf of the rector and all the professors that took part to this event today. I hope you enjoyed the presentation, and I really hope to see you in Verona someday soon. Goodbye, and thank you again for your attention.
Goodbye.